The more I get into these characters for Honkai Star Rail, the more I realize just how different, I guess is the best way to put it, that Honkai Star Rail is going to be to other gacha games, especially when it, well, not really different. I would say more so, a lot more is built into this for a Hoyoverse game than a lot of people realize. And it comes with the turn-based strategy type of thing, or turn-based RPG, that Honkai Star Rail is going for. Speaking of that, every turn-based RPG has your buffers and debuffers, and the character we're talking about today, as you've seen probably in the thumbnail and in the title, is no exception. Pela here is going to be a awesome debuffer, and we're going to talk about that. But what is going on, my dudes? Tash here, back again with another Honkai Star Rail video. If you guys like the content, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to be notified of when the next Honkai Star Rail video comes out. And of course, leave a comment. Would love to hear you guys' opinions on this. But without any further delay, let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, Pela is going to be a 4-star ice user, which is really, really cool. And she's going to be a part of the Nihility section. So Nihility here, or the Nihility path, characters from this path will debuff their enemies and gain an advantage by reducing the enemy's overall battle power. And Pela exudes that, in my personal opinion. Now let's go ahead and talk about her skills. First things first, Frost Shot is going to be like your normal skill in general, the regular attack. Frostbite, however, removes one buff and deals ice damage equal to 120, 240, and 264% of Pela's attack to a single enemy. Now, this might come off as like she scales on attack and that's your best bet. However, we're going to talk about that here once we get to the relics and light cones. Zone Suppression, her ultimate, deals ice damage equal to 84, 140, and 151% of Pela's attack to all enemies with a base chance of 100% to inflict the exposed status. Exposed enemies have their defense reduced by 33, 42, and 43% for 2 turns. Now, exposed is exactly like frozen or burn, stuff like that. So it's one of those statuses that you're going to want. And exposed is kind of a debuffing status. So data collection, the talent, if Pela's attack inflicts a debuff on the enemy, she additionally gains 5, 10, and 11 energy. That's really, really good, especially since you're wanting to get that energy back for the ultimate and keep shredding that defense. That's very, very crucial. Now, Initiator, as you can see here, immediately attacks the enemy upon entering battle. Pela deals ice damage equal to 80% of her attack to a random enemy with a 100% base chance of lowering the defense of all enemies by 20% for 2 turns. She is a defense shredder because she will keep on shredding defense throughout this whole thing. It's very, very, very useful. Pela's traces, as you can see, bash right here. Pela deals 20% more damage to debuffed enemies on A2. On A4, the secret strategy, when Pela is on the battlefield, all enemies' effect hit rate increases by 10%. This is crucial for units like Hook, who will inflict burn and have that extra 10% chance of inflicting it. Wipeout, A6, using skill to remove buffs increases the damage of Pela's next attack by 20%. Now, this is the only crucial thing, is that you're removing a buff from, I believe it's your characters. So that's kind of the bad thing, is that you have to remove a buff to get Pela's buffs. However, I could be wrong. It could be that the buff is removed from the opposing team. And if that's the case, then she's busted. So, Eidolons, let's go ahead and talk about that. We already know that the level 3 and the level 5 just increased the talents. Eidolon level 1, Victory Report. When an enemy is defeated, Pela regenerates 5 energy. Very good. Level 2, Adamant Charge. After using Pela's skill to remove it. Oh, it's enemy buff. It's an enemy buff. Okay, so now we know it's enemies, which makes it even better. Her speed is increased by 10% for 2 turns. So speed, again, is very crucial in Honkai Star Rail, and you want to make sure that you're capitalizing on as much speed as possible. On level 4, Full Analysis, after Pela uses her ultimate, all enemies receive 50% more toughness damage from corresponding types for 2 turns. So she boosts, like, let's say your opponent is weak to fire. At Eidolon level 4, at the start, or after she uses her ultimate, like, let's say you have Asta on the field. If Asta uses an AoE and hits 3 opponents with Pyro, or sorry, fire, they're all going to take 50% more toughness damage, which is insane. So that's pretty dang good. And then of course we got Feeble Pursuit, Eidolon 6. When Pela attacks a debuffed enemy, she deals additional ice damage equal to 80% of Pela's attack to the enemy. Now again, you could scale attack power with Pela, but I don't know if that's going to be the go-to. And that's why we're going to get into the relics here. Relics are extremely important. And I think, honestly, your best bet, it's tough, man. You have either Thief of Shooting Meteor, which on the 2 and the 5 increases effect hit rate by 15%, which I think is what you're going to want to go for, is to get that exposed status constantly going off. And then the 4-piece, the wearer deals 45% more additional damage to the enemy. When dealing additional damage, increases the wearer's attack by 15% for 1 turn. This is good because, again, you're getting that 15% extra attack, which, again, Pela's stuff scales off of attack. Wastelander of Banditry Desert does the same thing for the 2-piece and the 5-piece, increasing hit damage by 15%. When attacking an enemy inflicted with a debuff, the wearer deals 15% more damage with an additional 10% crit rate. I think, honestly, you might want to go for the 5-piece of the Thief of Shooting Meteor, or you could do a very weird type of setup, which I would say is 2-piece Thief of Shooting Meteor, 2-piece Wastelander of Banditry Desert, and maybe 2-piece Musketeer of Wild Wheat to get that extra 15%. I think that could be a benefit, to be honest, because outside of Thief of Shooting Meteor, this ability, I don't think there's too much of a difference using the 4 pieces. But honestly, I think Thief of Shooting Meteor running the 5-piece is your best bet. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the light cones, because light cones are extremely important in Honkai Star Rail. I didn't talk about this in Asta's, and I do apologize to everybody out there. We're going to get back to doing the Eidolons. So, Eyes of the Prey. I would not use this one entirely because, well, I mean, you could, especially with increasing the hit rate by 20, 25, 30, 35, and 40%. I think, honestly, from what I was looking at, one of the best ones that I could see in general, what was it? I think it was Good Night and Sleep Well. For every debuff the character or the target enemy has, the damage dealt by the wearer increases by 12, 15, 18, 21, and 24%, and stacking up to 3 times, which could be really good. But honestly, like, looking at it now and kind of giving it a second glance, and this is, I looked at this before and was like, okay, Good Night and Sleep Well might be better. But honestly, thinking about it, Eyes of the Prey might be the best bet, just to be able to get that exposed status again, like we were talking about before, increasing it 20, 25, 30, 35, and 40%, and increasing damage over time by 24, 30, 36, 42, and 48. Now, there's only one Nihility 5-star, and that's going to be In the Name of the World. Increases the wearer's damage of the debuffed enemies by 20, 25, 30, 35, and 40%. When the wearer uses a skill, the effect hit rate of this attack increases by 20, 25, 30, 35, and 40%. And attack will increase by 20, 25, 30, 35, and 40% as well. That actually works really, really well for Pela because, again, she scales off of attack, so that works out. The effect hit rate is there, and it works pretty well. So 5-star In the Name of the World, 4-star Eyes of the Prey, and you wouldn't be disappointed with any of those. Honestly, when it comes to Pela in general, I think Pela is really good. I don't think she's going to be the best debuffer, but I like Pela, and I think that she's going to be a lot of fun to use. I didn't get to use her in the beta because she wasn't out at the time, but in all honesty, I'm just excited for her. I think that she's going to be a fun character to really run. Now, of course, guys, that's going to be the content for today. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you guys like the content so far with Honkai Star Rail. Guys, I am so excited for this game to come out. I'm going to be streaming all 3 days, the 26th, the 27th, and the 28th when it first comes out. So be prepared for that, guys. Love you all to death. And as always, we will catch you guys in the next video. Please take care and be safe, y'all.